G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Darkmyre and today we are finally sitting down to do the Q&A video. For those of you that aren't aware what this is, basically last month we hit 5k subscribers and to celebrate that, decided to do a GTA 5 giveaway which was won by Tate F. Congratulations again to Tate, hopefully you're enjoying your game, and also did a Q&A, so took a bunch of questions from you guys and today I'm going to be sitting down and answering them. Going to try and impose them over the game so you guys can see who's asked each question as we go through. Anyway, let's get into it. Our first question is from Yasin Anwar, who asks, do you work in law enforcement or military? No, Yasin, I don't work in law enforcement, military, or indeed any other emergency service. Just have an interest in that kind of gameplay and that sort of thing. I did briefly spend some time with the SES way back. For those of you who aren't Australian, the SES is basically a volunteer emergency service. Here in Australia, they help out a lot with floods and that kind of like bad weather recovery kind of things, search and rescue, and probably a whole bunch of other things that I'm not aware of. Unfortunately, the SES branch that I signed up with was pretty much dominated by a whole bunch of stupid politics, and I went there for about 3 or 4 weeks and got sick of sitting around listening to people bitch and moan about other people rather than doing anything constructive for the community, so basically quit and never went back. Unfortunately. Do have a lot of respect though for those that do don any sort of emergency service uniform out there and keep us all safe and healthy and all those sort of things, so big shout out to anyone that does do that. Mad respect for you guys. Let's move on to the next question now. It is from Tyrese Tayua. Do hope I'm saying these names properly. He says, hey Dark, I'm new and my question is, have you ever been to New Zealand and will you make New Zealand police? Well, I have done a few New Zealand patrols now. We've got, I think, a couple of paramedic patrols, 2 or 3 police patrols, and even a canine patrol. Excuse me. Haven't actually been to New Zealand though. It is somewhere I would love to go someday, but haven't had the good fortune to get there just yet. Yeah, hopefully one day we'll get there. Let's see, we have another question now from Kevo33. It says, who are your biggest watchers, as in demographics? I don't have the data up on the screen. I forgot about this question and didn't get everything set up as I probably should have. But generally, from memory, it's basically... just trying to think of what the age category is now. It's not there's a 13 to 17 age category that is fairly prominent, but it's the next one up. I think it's 18 to 25, and definitely much more prominent with males. I think we've got about 8% of watchers are female, so the vast majority I would say are young male adults. Seem to be who's watching this stuff the most, so shout out to you guys. Let's see what our next question is. It is from Lucky1079. Are you ever going to do a Darkmyre stream for 5k? Well, obviously not for 5k, because that's been and gone, but I have done a few drunk streams in the past, and I'll probably do some more in the future. We might even have some drinking happening as part of the 7.5k special, which will be a 12-hour live stream, so definitely in 12 hours there's a good chance that I'm going to be having a few drinks. And indeed, I'm even having a few drinks today. So there we go. Next question comes from Phil Brock, who asks, what is your favourite car make? Now, clearly Phil's probably a bit new to the channel, because this question comes up fairly often and I've answered it quite a few times before, but I'll answer it again. My favourite car make is definitely Holden's. Grew up in Elizabeth in Adelaide, which is right near the old Holden factory. Not sure yet if it's actually closed down or if it's this year that it closes down. Haven't really been keeping up with all that sort of stuff, but yeah, absolutely love the Holdens. Can't get enough of them. Definitely a Holden man. Next question is from Dom Fianda, who asks, what is the favourite thing of LSPDFR you like? That's pretty hard, because when you think about it, there's not a real lot that is LSPDFR itself. I guess in a way, though, that kind of answers itself. What I like the most about LSPDFR is the plugin community, all the plugin developers, all the great work they do, extending the basic police game that we've got. You know, basically, if it wasn't for them, LSPDFR would have died out over a year ago. It has had no updates in a good 12 to 18 months now. No sign of any updates coming anywhere in the near future. Thankfully, there are people like myself, Albo, PNW Parks fan, Corio, Alex Guire, and all those other big names that put out awesome call-out plugins and add-ons and other mods for the game. So That's, yeah, definitely my favourite part is all the stuff that's not LSPDFR, which is kind of funny when you think about it. So let's see. Next question is from Saskia Prescott, who asks, do you have a favourite food? Not really. I used to really love basically anything Italian, whether it be pizza, pasta, all that sort of stuff. Unfortunately found out, I think it was early this year, or probably actually late last year, that I'm meant to be gluten-free, so I've had to really adjust my diet and really struggled to deal with the fact that pretty much all the stuff that I love, I can't eat it anymore, which really sucks, but meh, what are you going to do? So, another question now from Mr. Fui, our resident paramedic, asks, did you think you would make it this far on YouTube, and what's the best part about this community? Making it this far on YouTube, not remotely. When I first started the channel, I really struggled to get any subscribers. Sat at, I think, single digits for a good month or two. Took another few months, probably about 6 months, I think, to hit the 100 mark. And, you know, the whole way through it, I've regularly thought, you know, am I actually getting anywhere with this? Is it actually worth my time? Should I just throw the towel in and give up? Thankfully, there's been a lot of supportive people in the community and behind the scenes as well that have kept me active and kept those thoughts of quitting at bay. And so we are now here at 5k, almost at 6k actually, at the time of recording this, and with nothing but up to head onwards to. As for the best part about the community, I think just the community itself, watching it grow over the last year and a half has been just amazing. Like, we started off with LSPDFR Australia basically being the VE Commodore from VicPol, and I think there was the unmarked VE, and I'm pretty sure that was about it. To go from that point to the fact that I think there's now probably a good 20 to 30 Aussie police car models, not counting all the different skins for them for the different states, and seeing so many people get into modelling and into plugin development as well as part of the community, even a few people getting into YouTubing as well. It's just amazing to see the whole LSPDFR Australia community just growing and evolving as it has been over the last 12 to 15 months or so. Alright, so as we start a new race in the background there, we are going on to our next question, which is from Tom Roland Vlogs, who asks, how long will you be in YouTubing? Well, Tom, I don't have any plans on going anywhere. Basically, this is a bit of a tricky question to answer because I don't know what the future's going to hold. I don't know how long YouTube's going to be running for. But basically, as long as YouTube is running and as long as things are still going well with the channel, I have no plans on going anywhere. Even if the channel blows up and we hit, you know, millions of subscribers, I'll still be here, hopefully every day, putting out live streams and video content for you guys to enjoy, because, you know, it's what I'm choosing to pursue as a career. It would make no sense, really, to only be in it for the short term. Let's have a look at our next question. It is from FaZe Blazkian, who asks, how old am I? I've gotten this question a few times and been a bit dodgy about the answers, so this time I'm going to come straight with you guys. I am precisely 36 at this time of at the moment, so yeah, in my mid-30s, approaching 40, but still a few years away, thankfully. Next question is Kai Adamson, who asks, how did you first start writing scripts and similar things for GTA 5? Basically, I started really early on in playing LSPDFR. I realised that it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Basically, you have all these call-outs and all these different uniforms and police cars, but you get all of the calls for no matter what you're doing. And so I had this idea for agency callouts of making a way that you could choose whether you're a county sheriff, LSPD, highway patrol, etc., and having callouts that just fit your agency, so you can actually have themed videos. Pretty much most of the stuff that I've done with my plugins has been for my own channel, for what I wanted to experience in my game, and the type of content I wanted to be able to produce for you guys. So that's where a lot of that comes from. And yeah, my first scripting was agency callouts, trying to solve the issue of everyone being every call, basically. Our next question comes from Competens, author of Make Visuals Great Again, the glorious visuals that you see in all of my non-GTA Online GTA stuff. And he asks, how dank am I? Well, Comp, that's a question that really you, the viewers, are going to have to answer, because I think it's really a subjective question, kind of like how cool is someone. I can't really decide that for myself. That's something you guys have to each individually decide, how cool or how dank you think I am. Hopefully it's pretty cool and pretty dank, but Okay, we have another question from Steve Myers, who asks, have you ever thought of making models? And congrats on 5k. Thanks for the congrats. Definitely appreciate it there, Steve. As for your question, yes, I have quite often thought about dabbling in the model making side of things. Even came very close to purchasing a few models not too long ago. Unfortunately, there's not very many tutorials out there, and I don't really have the free time to sit there and play around with ZModeler and Blender for, a week solid figuring it all out myself. So at this stage, it's not likely I'm ever going to develop my own models. The interest is there, and if I can find any awesome tutorials, then definitely I'll check it out, but at this point, probably not. Alright, so our next question is from Black Malu, who asks for the 5k Q&A, what are you most thankful for? It's another really tricky one to answer, because there's so many things in life to be thankful for, I guess. Overall, I'm thankful for the fact that I have the opportunity to invest the time in this YouTube dream, and thankful for the fact that so far it seems to actually be getting somewhere, Wouldn't be that good if you had the time to do it and we're getting nowhere with it, but I've got the time, got the progress. I'm pretty thankful for that. Probably a lot of other things that I'm thankful for as well, but a question like this I find really tricky to answer. But yeah, what I'm most thankful for in the context of the YouTube side of things is definitely having the opportunity to follow my dream and having my dream slowly make some progress. Our next question, Cows for Sale asks, what do you drive? Do you plan on changing to a new car? And do you plan to race a car? Well, currently, if I drive a Mazda Tribute. Not a very fancy car, not a very fast car. Obviously, I would love to get a better car. Probably if I got a new car, it would be a Chrysler 300C. If we're talking about, getting any car that you want kind of thing. Do I plan on racing a car? No. Not really my scene, unfortunately. My first car was a bit of a racer. It was a Cordia GSR, which, it's a Mitsubishi car, little turbo car. I don't know, it wasn't too bad a car, but I never really got into the whole thing of tricking them out and making them look just ridiculous with oversized spoilers and all that sort of nonsense. So no plans on racing a car. I like good Aussie muscle, personally. Jokes and Games is the next question, who asks, will you play GTA and Rainbow Six Siege with subscribers? Well, I have actually already done that a few times. Pretty much all of the Rainbow Six that I've done has been with subscribers and with one or two of the Cuffs guys. And the same with GTA Online. We've done a few stunt races now with, again, a few of the Cuffs guys and a few of our fans and subscribers. So, yeah, definitely open to doing GTA and Rainbow Six and other multiplayer games with you guys. The easiest way to get involved in that is to join us on the Discord and get involved in the chat, get to know us, and if you're around at the time that we're doing these kind of things, you'll probably get an invite. Moving on now, we have a question from Jumpy_, who asks, what interests you in policing, and why don't you do it as a career if you like it so much? The first half of that, I'm not really sure why I find it so interesting in the terms of LSPDFR and the GTA modding scene. I guess in part it's because it's something that's very different. GTA itself, you're meant to be the criminal, you're meant to, run from the police and shoot them and all that sort of nonsense, and the fact that they've managed to make a plugin that literally turns the game on its head, I just find that amazing and found it very interesting to get into and just seem to really enjoy it. As for why I don't do it as a career, unfortunately I do have some health issues that stop me from being a police officer in at least in any of the states that I've looked into it. I did want to in the past. The other thing is I don't really have the patience to do it as a career. You can be abusive and all that sort of stuff with virtual people inside LSPDFR because, they're basically just pixels on the screen. You're not going to hurt anyone's feelings or anything like that. But out in the real world, you've got to have a bit more tact and a bit more subtlety. And unfortunately, they're kind of things that I don't have in great supply. So hopefully I'll be able to support our boys in blue by, I guess, exposing all of the young people that like to watch GTA videos to a different side of GTA that's pro-policing. The next question comes from Ryan, Mr. 1%. It is a two-part question. He asks, do I drink Bundy's? And what is a feature you haven't seen yet that you would love to see in LSPDFR? Yes, I do drink Bundy. As I said earlier, I'm now gluten-free, and Bundy is thankfully one of the drinks that I can still enjoy because it is made from sugarcane. So, awesome job for Bundaberg Rum making their rum out of something that I can drink. Love it. It's also, from memory, the first drink that I ever actually drank when I first started drinking. Won't mention what age that was, but yeah, way back in the day, first started drinking, it was a good old Bundy rum. And a feature I haven't seen, but I'd love to see in LSPDFR. Not really sure. I think what I would love to see is much better handling for being able to stop people. So you can stop people anywhere, ask them questions. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to give you, legit logical answers, but even just randomly generated answers, things like, where are you going? What are you doing? That kind of thing. Just general questioning of a person on the street that police might do out in the real world. I think that would be great to see. As for anything else, though, pretty much everything that I would love to see has been added by myself or one of the other excellent, talented plugin developers. So, yeah, and I'm not sure there's much left that we can add. Moving on, we have a question from Aussie Developer who asks, do you have any pets? How much do you love YouTube? And how did you become so popular? Well, yes, I do have a pet. We used to have a lot more. Nowadays, we only have one. We have a, I think he's a New Zealand Flemish rabbit. His name is Bugs, which is kind of a bit of a silly name because he's like an albino, basically. But he's pretty cool. It's a nice, quiet pet. Doesn't require a lot of maintenance, which is good. How much do I love YouTube? I quite enjoy it. It's certainly challenging, and it's certainly not without its own version of stress and things like that, doing it as a career, but overall it's quite enjoyable. And as for how did I become so popular, I don't really know, to be perfectly honest. I basically just kept doing the same thing, mixed it up a little bit now and then, tried a few different things, but kept plugging away at the videos and the live streams, and as time went on, the viewers and the subs built, and I became, as you say, so popular. Obviously, there's still a lot of room to go, and hopefully I'll be able to figure out what the formula is and be able to focus a bit on that. But yeah, so far it's just persistence and hard work, really. And I guess having a certain degree of dankness, as Competens would say, that has made you guys stick around. Next question comes from Unnoobable Gamer Unnoobable Facts, who said, when did you start playing GTA and LSPDFR? Well, I actually started GTA itself basically the week that it came out. I took a few days off work, went and bought myself an Xbox 360 and the game when it first came out, before it was out on any next gen or PC or anything like that. Played it so much back in the day. As for LSPDFR, that was about 2 years ago now. I discovered some of Jeff Faviano's Code Zero videos, and from there discovered his LSPDFR series, and really enjoyed it, and figured, may as well give it a try myself, and yeah, the rest you guys pretty much know, because most of it's been on the channel here. So I think we're getting close to the end now. We've got a few more questions left. Jason Beef asks a nice quick one that we've been asked pretty much every stream, and that is, what part of Australia do you live? Well, I currently live in Canberra in the ACT. I have lived pretty much all over the country, though. I think the only places I haven't lived for any sort of time would be Tasmania, if you count that as real. Or, let's see, have I lived in Queensland? Haven't lived in Queensland, but I did spend about 3 or 4 months up there, but yeah, I don't know that that really counts as living there. But yeah, other than that, I've lived pretty much everywhere. Oh, and of course Victoria. I have not been much to Victoria at all. Bob Harumba asks, why did I start doing cuffs? Well, obviously, having discovered LSPDFR through Code Zero, that style of gameplay really appealed to me, and was wanting to do that from the get-go, but not really having anyone that I knew that did that kind of thing that was be interested in it. It's actually a pretty funny story. Onyx, who is, as you guys know, is one of the members of Cuffs, I was actually one of his subs from the very early days. I really enjoyed his earlier content, and when he put out the call for people that wanted to join him in a 5 Reborn Code Zero style of thing, I looked at it and thought, well, I would love to, but at that time, Onyx was very PG about his channel. He kept everything, didn't swear, kept everything pretty kid-friendly there, and I thought, I swear like a fucking sailor, there's no way that my potty mouth and his channel would be a good mix, so sat on it, didn't do anything about it, and I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks later, maybe even a couple of months later, Buddha actually approached me. Can't quite remember how that all started, but approached me, and one thing led to another, and now I'm in Cuffs with Buddha and Onyx and Prone and all the other guys, so it's really funny starting off as a viewer of Onyx's, and now basically a colleague and a good friend of his. Alright, so next question, it's a bit of a multi-question we've got from a few people. We have FPR GT, Sportboy 222, and SRS Blades, who all asks what made you want to play LSPDFR, and what made you start doing police mods or police emergency service videos. Basically, as I said, I found Code Zero stuff, enjoyed watching that, gave it a try myself as a player, and I really enjoyed playing it, and figured, hey, why not give it a go as, you know, for this whole YouTube thing. And I think SRS Blade also asked, how did I find out about the New South Wales police skins and textures? That was basically through lcpdfr.com, where you get the mod, and just being active there, and reading through things as they were posted, and things like that. Okay, our next question comes from DD22, Chrissy Mosley, and Zach Hilo, who ask, what made you want to do YouTube, start YouTube, and yeah, basically, that's it, and especially gaming videos. Well, as I said, it was from, well, what initially made me start, it wasn't actually the Code Zero stuff. That's what got me into the policing side of things. What made me want to start YouTube was basically watching Achievement Hunters 2 or 3 years ago. Found their channel and got really into it and thought, you know, here's a bunch of grown-ass men like me who are sitting down, playing computer games, getting drunk, and having a great time and making a crap ton of money doing it. And I thought, you know, shit, I can do that. I can talk a bunch of shit. I can get drunk. I can play computer games. Why not? And didn't really have the confidence to get started right away. It took me another year and a bit before I decided to give it a go myself. But you know, spent a lot of that time researching YouTube and how it all worked and how the algorithms and the tags and all of that sort of things worked. And then gave it a go, and pretty much I haven't looked back since. And Chrissy also asks, how old were you when I started? Well, I started, I think technically I started my channel at the end of 2015, so that would have made me, 34, turning 35. So yeah, I haven't been doing it for very long, but, you know, long enough, I guess. We've got 5k subscribers, so got to be doing something right. And our final questions of the Q&A we have from Peter Bakos, who asks, have you ever dreamed or desired to be a YouTube personality? And other than LSPDFR live streams, do you plan to have other types of content? So as for the first one, I'm not really sure what you would count as a YouTube personality. I think in some people's descriptions, I probably already would count as one. I'm assuming you mean somebody a lot more famous, like, you know, PewDiePie, Keemstar, those kind of big names with multiple millions of subscribers, and absolutely, I would love to. I don't know how I'm going to handle it when I get to that big, but I've got my eyes set on the top, and yeah, I'm aiming for it, and I'm going for it. Maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't, but at least I can say I've given it my best shot at the end. Hopefully you guys will all be there with me when we do get there. As for other than LSPDFR live streams, yes, I desperately want to get away from the LSPDFR. Not that I don't like doing it, not that I want to stop doing it, but recently it seems that that's all that we've been doing, and, you know, this is meant to be a gaming channel, not an LSPDFR channel, so absolutely I want to start mixing in some other games into the live streams and getting back into the pre-recorded gameplay content. The hard part there is obviously when you're doing this as a career, you need to people to be watching your stuff and seeing those ads. That is basically how YouTubers make their money. Seems that most people only want to watch LSPDFR, so I'm not sure. Might need to branch out and do some more aggressive marketing in other game sectors to get some other audience members coming in and interested in those other things. Maybe you guys need to just have a bit more of a look, bit more of an open mind at what other games you want to have a look at. But yeah, definitely planning on having some other games, and planning on actually starting a few of them this month and in the next few months as well. So hopefully we'll find lots of content you guys do enjoy. Obviously, if there are particular games you'd love to see me play, definitely leave us a comment on a video, and if I can make it happen, I'll definitely have a go at it. Can't say necessarily it'll be a long-term series, but I'm happy to give most games a go. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the Q&A. That will wrap up this Q&A video. I do hope you have enjoyed and hope I answered your questions. I'm going to make a bit more of an effort in the coming months to get on top of the comments section and the Facebook messages and things. So if you do have a question that you want to ask that hasn't been asked, feel free to drop a comment down below or shoot me a message or something, and I will try my best to get a response to you in a timely manner. And hopefully we will all see you guys in another month or two, hopefully when we hit the 7,500 mark. for the 12-hour live stream and onwards and upwards from there. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have enjoyed. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below, and I'll catch you on the next stream. Till then, have a good one.